Hey guys, and welcome on in to another episode of Picks on Net, NHL Picks and Stats. I'm your host, Terry Edelmann, at TPicks over on X, ready to break down the Thursday slate. I believe there's 11 games today, somewhere around that range. So we are going to get right into it. But of course, before we get to today's slate, we will take a look back at what happened yesterday. But before I get to that, if you're interested in the rest of my NHL season, you can get the entire rest of the NHL season over on Picks and Parlays. Link is in the description of the video. Rest of my season, NHL season, including playoffs, for $259. But taking a look back at yesterday's slate, Jason Robertson, over half an assist, unfortunately lost. He scored a goal. So did the opposite of what we wanted him to do on yesterday's slate. And then Wyatt Johnston won the game with a shootout goal, but unfortunately shootout goals do not count. So 0-2 on the show here in this game. And I had the over. I had the over between these two teams with the really heavy over history. Unfortunately, that did not come through. But Cutter Gauthier, anytime goal, plus 175. Finished the night with a winner here. A lot of success against his former team. Back-to-back games with success against his former team, but a lot of success recently, and the motivation was definitely there for Mr. Cutter Gauthier. I need a huge rebound after yesterday. I feel you, Boog. It's been tough. It's been a tough go. The NHL's gotten a little bit weird, and everything was going great. Everything was amazing, and then overnight things just switched. So, plugging along, trying to get through, waiting for things to go back to normal, which hopefully be here in tonight's slate. What is McKinnon doing? Not shooting out of overtime. I don't feel Kadri is fitting into. He's not fitting in. Well, yeah, we'll see. Avalanche fans are really, really happy about getting him back, but we'll see. It might just take time for him to fit in well again. But jumping into today's slate, I'm going to be breaking down 6 games and the other 5 on the rest of the games on the slate segment at the end of the show. But jumping into the first one, we've got the Montreal Canadiens and the Detroit Red Wings. Montreal, minus 110. Detroit, minus 110. And a total of 6 here in this one. Looking at this game here, previous games between the two teams, Montreal, 4-2 in the last 6 meetings. 2 unders and 3 pushes for a total of 6. So not a lot of overly high-scoring games between these two, but getting around the 6-goal mark most of the time. Jakub Dobeš confirmed for Montreal, 22-7-4 in the season, 2.93 goals against average, 892 save percentage. Gibson, 25-15-3, 2.56 goals against average, so 906 save percentage here. Gibson's been the better goalie for the most part this season. But Jakub Dobeš, despite not having spectacular numbers, finds ways to win games. So that's really what you want in a goaltender, is one that finds ways to win. This could be a good game for a draw. Now, the way I look at it is both of these two teams probably don't want this game to be a draw, though, looking at it, because both these teams obviously would prefer to win this game in regulation, but I don't see either making any kind of crazy decision in overtime. Montreal, 84, or at the end of the regulation. Montreal, 84 points. Detroit, 82 points. Montreal, third in the Atlantic right now. Detroit in the final wild card spot. But not secure, because Red Hot Columbus is only 1 point behind Detroit and Boston. Ottawa, we'll talk about in the next game, but a very frustrating loss yesterday for me personally on the Senators. that was a bad loss by them. But we'll talk about them coming up here in a second. For me in this game, give me goal Caulfield. Anytime goal plus 160 here in this one. Why am I taking Mr. Caulfield to score? Well, he scored in 3 games in a row, 6 of his last 9 entering this game. Leads Montreal in goals, 40 on the season, leads them on shots on goal, and really plays well against divisional opponents. He scored in 6 of his last 7 games against divisional opponents. So not only is he Mr. Saturday Night, he's also Mr. Divisional Game because he loves to play against divisional opponents. Now, overall, not a ton of success against Detroit overall, but the way Caulfield's playing right now, getting him at plus 160 to score here, absolutely had to take him. Absolutely had to take him here. Now, if he doesn't score, another guy that will likely score instead of him is Nick Suzuki, who is on a 3-game goal streak as well. He's also scored in 6 of his last 9. So Suzuki is heating up. He's around plus 200, plus 195 to score here in this game. Ultimately, I went with Caulfield just because of how consistent he's been for me personally, betting on him this year. Suzuki, back-to-back games are 3 shots in goal, but the previous 3 games, 1, 2, 2. So not overly shooting the puck a lot. Caulfield shoots the puck more. That's ultimately why I did decide to go with Caulfield over Suzuki. Guys on point streaks, Moritz Seider is a point, 4 of his last 5, 7 of his last 10 games, minus 120 here in this game. Goal streaks, pretty much Caulfield and Suzuki, 2 hottest goal scorers right now. Assist streaks, Alex DeBrincat, 4 games in a row, 7 of his last 10, plus 110 for an assist. Juraj Slafkovsky has an assist in 3 games in a row, 7 of his last 10, plus 120 here in this one. Let's go to the chat and see what people are thinking here. Thanks for all you do, my brother. You help me. Thanks, Calvin. I appreciate that. Good morning, Terry. Hey, Brian. Thank you, Calvin. Sorry it's not been the best of a go lately, but we're going to get back on track. Don't worry. What's up, Terry? I had a great day yesterday. Hit on several goal props and assist props, a couple line stacks, and hit my Flyers dog and draw play. I needed it. It's been rough. I'm glad to hear it, Sweet Pickles. I'm glad to hear it. And yeah, it's been rough. Not just for me, but for a lot of people right now. Montreal money line minus 110 and the draw plus 310. I don't hate either of those. Like I said, ideally, both teams would like to win this game in regulation, especially because these 2 teams are fighting against each other in the Atlantic. Right now, Detroit, Boston, Montreal, and Tampa Bay are separated by 4 points. So any one of those 4 could be in the 2nd, 3rd spot in the Atlantic. They could be a wild card spot, or they could be out of it altogether. That's right. The Tampa Bay Lightning, the Columbus Blue Jackets only 5 points behind them. So Tampa Bay is not secured in a playoff spot right now. So both teams ideally would like to win this game in regulation, but neither are going to risk losing a point because you can't do that at this point in time. If you play Gauthier anytime goal, you should consider him for the first hand goal. He scored in first 6 of the last 7. 6 of the last 10, 2 he didn't, was blanked 4 times. Yeah, for sure. I get that. I just, because it's a full unit play for me, I'm not going to go with first goal because, especially with how things are going recently, the last thing I want to do is put a full unit on a first goal and then have them score the second goal. So for me personally, but yeah, for everyone else that does little bets and bets a lot of things, that's a good look at the first goal for Anaheim. They beat up the Ducks. Bad news for Ducks is that they can't beat a non-playoff team. Seems like the only person trying was Leo Carlson. Carlson sucked. Well, hey, it's going to take time for John Carlson. What about Tarasenko for the Wild? He's hot. Yeah, we'll be talking about him. Caulfield anytime goal. All right. I like that Uriah assist. Might take him for 2 points. Yeah, he's been hot recently. He's been hot. So play both anytime goal and pizza money on the first goal. Yeah, you could do that. You could do that. But we will jump on along to our next game, which is the New York Islanders and the Ottawa Senators. Islanders plus 115 road dogs. The Sens minus 135 home favorites, and a total 6 here in this one. Looking at goalies here, Ilya Sorokin likely for the Islanders. James Reimer unconfirmed for the Ottawa Senators. Sorokin coming off a 3-1 win against the Toronto Maple Leafs. Sorokin doing what the Islanders need him to do. And this Islanders team is kind of flying under the radar a little bit. Nobody's really talking about the Islanders right now. But they are currently third in the Metro. But again, they are a team only 2 points ahead of Columbus. So the Islanders definitely a team that's going to be motivated here to keep winning. They're 7-3 in their last 10, so they're playing well overall. But this Ottawa Senators team coming off a disappointing loss yesterday, but they've been good overall. Both of these two teams have been winning a lot of games recently heading into this one. So I could see the draw here in this one. Both of these teams desperately want points. But again, Ottawa would probably rather the Islanders didn't get a point in this game. Islanders, same thing. Islanders, maybe they don't care as much because Ottawa affecting their playoff position is likely not what's going to happen here. But looking at previous games between these two teams, very interesting stats. The road team has won 7 of the last 8 between these two teams. The total, 3 overs, 1 under, and 2 pushes. So more higher scoring games. And the Islanders, 10-2 in their last 12 trips to Ottawa. So the Islanders definitely have the past history success against the Senators team. Obviously, the Islanders at a dog price. The only thing that scares me there, though, is that the Ottawa did lose yesterday to the Washington Capitals. If Ottawa loses this game, it's already going to be difficult for them to make the playoffs. But if they lose this game as well, it's really going to be difficult for them. So don't be surprised to see a close game here. Potentially we could get overtime in this one. Looking at player props for this game that have value. Claude Giroux is a point in back-to-back games, plus 135. Braden Shen has a point in back-to-back games, plus 140. Matthew Schaefer has been consistent recently, points in 5 of 6. But you would probably be better to go with the assist. He has assists in 5 of 6, plus 107. So the assist prop, plus 107. Point prop is minus 130. And looking, he's played Ottawa once. He got an assist against them in that game. So if I was looking at props here for this one, I would be looking towards Matthew Schaefer to get an assist. No power play point streaks here in this game. Let's go to Schaefer point. Yeah, he's been hot, but JD says he did not participate in morning skate. All right, so keep an eye on that. Doesn't necessarily mean anything. Doesn't necessarily mean he's not playing or anything like that, but something to keep an eye on. So with that, probably is enough to keep me off his point prop for sure here in this one. Just because of the amount of games there are in the slate. Don't like seeing that somebody, but then again, have to find out the reason why. Maybe there's a non-health reason for that. But Horvat anytime goal, plus 180. Goals in 4 of 5 and 6 of 9 versus Ottawa. All right, there you go. What has he been doing recently? Horvat recently. 4 or 5 against Ottawa. Hasn't scored in 3 games in a row, but before that had scored in 4 or 5. So he was red hot until these last 3 games. 1 shot against LA, 3 shots against Calgary and Toronto. And he was shooting the puck a lot more before that. 9, 6, 4, 5, 3, 4, 6. So if Horvat gets back to shooting the puck here, yeah, I could definitely see that. There's great value there. What's up, Terry? Huge sports day. Nope, I'm not touching any March Madness. First of all, very, very light with basketball in general, but especially college. Right now, my main focus has been getting ready for MLB because baseball's back next week. So I've been deep diving into MLB, getting ready for that. So that's where my focus has been, to be 100% prepared for MLB. And then, of course, focusing on NHLs as well. So no college for me. Too busy. I don't know how some people do it where they cap every single sport right now. That's just, it's crazy. But Chicago Blackhawks and the Minnesota Wild. The Hawks plus 190 road dogs. The Wild minus 230 home favorites. Total of 6 here in this one. Wasn't easy, but the Wild got the job done against the Blackhawks in these teams' last game, which was in Chicago. A 4-3 overtime win for the Wild. And if you look at it, the first meeting this year, 4-3 overtime win for the Wild. The second game, 4-3 shootout win for the Wild. And as I just said, the last meeting, 4-3 overtime win for the Wild. I would bet the 4-3 overtime score or the Wild to win 4-3 in this game, but the odds of all 4 meetings finishing 4-3 just doesn't seem likely here. Having said that, I have to take the draw in this spot. Plus 350 for these two teams to go to overtime. 4 of the last 7 meetings between these two teams has gone to overtime. And the Blackhawks have just been a draw machine recently. 5 of their last 7 games have gone to overtime, and they've gone to overtime in 5 consecutive games against divisional opponents. So the Hawks, if they were in the playoff race right now, they would be doing exactly what they need to do, is getting points against divisional opponents. The Wild have gone to overtime in 3 of the last 6 games for them. And then with all 3 games going to overtime this year, plus 350 odds, absolutely had to take it here. So while I would love to see the Wild absolutely kick some butt here in this game, I'm taking the draw. So no, they can kick butt in their next game. Let's have a close game. Let's get the draw here in this one. Goalies here, Spencer Knight unconfirmed for Chicago. I hope he starts, especially for the draw. Jesper Wallstedt confirmed for the Wild here in this one. Looking at player props, yes, he was mentioned earlier, Vladimir Tarasenko. And when he got signed, I said he was going to have a big season. And I've been partly right, because Vladimir Tarasenko hasn't had the consistency, but when he has played well, he's really played well, especially offensively. He's got a point in 4 of his last 5 games, and he scored in back-to-back games, including in the last game against the Hawks. And so Tarasenko anytime goal is definitely a good look here in this one. Or if you want to take his point prop at minus 115, there's value there. Frank Nazar points in 4 of his last 5, minus 105. There's value with him. Hartman against his former team points. It was a long time ago, but plus 105 points in back-to-back games for Hartman. Goal streaks, Boldy, Frank Nazar, both 3 of their last 5 games with a goal. Then assist streaks, not a whole lot to talk about here. Bedard and Frank Nazar, both 3 of their last 5 games, plus 180 for Nazar, plus 115 for Bedard here in this one. Looking at previous meetings between these two teams, looking at the side, It gives me great pleasure still to this day to talk about this. The Wild 18-0-1 in the last 19 games against the Hawks. I do like the Wild to finish out on top, but likely a close game. Looking at the total, for the last 5 meetings, over 6. 1 game finished with 6 goals. As I said, all 3 games this year, 4-3 overtime wins for the Wild. Let's go here and see. Love it. I'm pumped for MLB in less than a week. Yeah, I'm excited too. And all speaking of this, for those watching on the Picks and Parlays YouTube channel, I'll be having a player to watch video talking about players that I'm going to be targeting for player props early on and throughout the season. So make sure to check that out on the Picks and Parlays YouTube channel. Here come the Hawks. Yeah, here comes the Hawks. Do you do MLB videos too? I love home run season. Yes, Sweet Pickles. Yep. Props from Terry is my baseball show. While hockey's still on, it's going to be the schedule for props from Terry is going to be kind of up and down. But once hockey's done, it'll be a consistent show. So Tarasenko point -105. Love it. Popped in to say hi on a break. I'll be watching me play in a bit. Parlay of the day. McAvoy point and Quinn over 1.5 shots on goal +121. Interesting combination, and best of luck, Captain Bry. I like it. Nazar has been fire as of late. Yes. Golasenko has 21 goals in 38 games versus Chicago. Golasenko, I like that, JD. Rinzel over 1.5 shots in 12 of his last 14 games. All right, Mr. Shooter. Faber has 5 points in 3 games versus Chicago. I like it. McAvoy a point in 16 of 17 games. Jack Quinn over 1.5 shots a goal in last 13 of 14. Wow. There you go. So that's why Captain Bry likes those two. That makes a lot of sense. Those are big streaks. Nazar goal here, +320. All right. Best of luck. But on to our next game. We've got the Seattle Kraken and the Nashville Predators. Why is Terry breaking down this game? Well, there's a reason. The Kraken +115 and the Predators -135, total 6 here in this one. Looking at goalies, we don't have either confirmed yet. Joey Decord unconfirmed. UC Saros unconfirmed here in this one. And looking at previous games between these two teams, pretty even. Seattle 3-2 in the last 5. 2-2-1 to a total 6. So 2 overs, 2 unders, 1 push. Not a real big edge when it comes to side or total, but that's okay because I'm not looking at the side or total here in this one. Give me Bobby McMann, over 0.5 point, +104. I went back and forth on whether I was going to take him for a goal or a point. Would not talk anyone off looking at his goal prop. He has scored a goal in all 3 games for the Seattle Kraken since being traded for the Leafs. +270 to score here in this game. And also, he scored in back-to-back games against Nashville. So success against the Predators, success recently at scoring. And he's had a lot of success on that top line with Beniers and Eberle. So Eberle points -120. There's value there. Beniers +100. Matthew Wood has been hot for the Predators, +113 for a point. McCann -120. There's lots of value here. If you think there's going to be goals, and I do. I think there will have goals here. Other guys on goal streaks, Matthew Wood, 3 of his last 5 games, +300 for the Predators. And then assist streaks, Jordan Eberle, 3 games in a row, +150. Assisting on McMahon's goals. So, yeah. McMahon, anytime goal, definitely great value. I went with the point prop at +104. Just to play it a little bit safer here in this one. Because he does have McMahon, he does have points in his last 3 games since coming over. 3 points against Vancouver, 2 points against Florida, 1 point against Tampa Bay. So points in all 3 games. We'll take him +104 here in this one. I like the Kraken, but I already bet McMahon goal. Why would you do that? No, I'm kidding. Plus 265. I caught this from game one, and I'm running it until the wheels fall off. There you go, Sweet Pickles. There you go. There you go. Picole's in point, plus 150. Savoy point, minus 115. Skated on the top line this morning with McDavid. Okay, interesting. We'll get to that game at the end. McMahon parlay. Or sorry, McCann parlay. Very easy to get those. And then there's a McMahon in baseball too. So yeah, it's too many McMahons or McCanns or and all that. But go Bobby McMahon here today. But we will go on along to our next game. 2 more games left, and then the rest of the games on the slate segment. The Buffalo Sabres and the San Jose Sharks. Buffalo minus 140 road favorites. The Sharks plus 120 home dogs. A total of 6.5 here in this one. When I look at this game here, it's Buffalo or pass in this one. The over, I do think we get goals here. Minus 135, not a lot of value overall. I think Buffalo team total over could be a good look. The issue, though, is Buffalo is getting the job done, whether they need to score goals or whether they don't need to score goals. Their last 2 games, 3-2 shootout win against Toronto, 2-0 win against Vegas. But they just played these 2 teams just played each other. The game after Buffalo had that huge game against Tampa Bay, it's supposed to be a letdown spot, but Buffalo went and beat San Jose 6-3. So a high-scoring game there in that one. Buffalo 6-1 in the last 7 meetings, 3 of the last 4 going over 6.5. The game that stayed under finished with 6 goals. Buffalo, in their 6 wins against San Jose, all 6 have been by 2 or more goals. They've also won 4 of their last 5 in San Jose, 3 overs, 2 unders. The 2 games that finished under were finished with 6. So don't be surprised if it's around 6 goals and it's a close total here in this one. But I do think we'll get goals here in this game. Looking at this one, point player prop wise, when it comes to the Sabres right now, and I've said this before, they have a lot of depth in their lineup. So it's kind of not a whole lot of consistency right now. They're kind of getting points throughout the lineups. Of course, a few low-scoring games in the last few. So streak-wise, not a whole lot from Buffalo heading into this one. However, Alexander Wennberg is red hot, points in 4 games in a row. He's plus 105 in this one, and assists in 4 games in a row, plus 162. With plus 162, plus 105, I would just go with the point instead of the assist prop. Not a huge difference there. Alex Tuck has had a lot of success against the San Jose Sharks, scoring in 6 of his last 7 against San Jose. So Alex Tuck plus 170 is a good look here in this one. Sabres team total over 3.5 minus 110. Ooh, I was wondering about odds for that. I like that. I do. I like that. Tuck goal 6-7 versus San Jose. Yes, Terry, right? He's been good. Is he still sick or no? Yeah, that's something to look at. I'm seeing here a game time decision, but that might be outdated. So something to keep an eye on. Again, probably going to stay off his props just because of that, but I won't be surprised to see him score here. But final game before we get to the rest of the games on the slate segment, the Tampa Bay Lightning and the Vancouver Canucks. Tampa Bay minus 305 road favorites. The Canucks plus 245 home dogs, a total of 6 here. In this one, wow, Tampa obviously huge favorites, but it makes sense. It somewhat makes sense, of course. The Tampa Bay Lightning 9-2 in the last 11 games between these 2 teams. 4 overs, 2 unders, and 1 push, to a total of 6 goals here in this game. No confirmed goalies in our last game. That's why I didn't mention them. No confirmed goalies here. Vasilevsky and Lankinen both unconfirmed. Tampa Bay should take care of business here, but the Tampa Bay Lightning have not overly played well, losing 7 of their last 10 games. They have won 2 of 3, so they're starting to maybe turn things around, beating Detroit 4-1, losing to Carolina 4-2, then beating Seattle 6-2. But the Canucks have also won 2 of 3. 4-3 shootout win against Nashville, 5-2 loss to Seattle, 5-2 win against Vancouver. Against Florida. No, the Canucks didn't play themselves. But looking at both of these teams have kind of been involved in some high-scoring games recently. So don't be surprised if we see goals here in this one. Total 6, if you can get it. I would go with the total of 6. Marco Rossi is red hot for the Vancouver Canucks, and I'm really happy to see it. I wish him nothing but the best. Rossi has scored in 3 games in a row. He's plus 410 to score here. So if you think the Vancouver Canucks can put up some offense against the Tampa Bay Lightning, I would be looking at Rossi. And while they only gave up 2 goals in their last game and 1 goal against Detroit, if you look at what Tampa Bay was doing other than that in other games, giving up 4, 5, 8, 2, 4, 5, 6, 5. The goaltending has not been consistent for Tampa Bay. So Marco Rossi at plus 410 definitely has value in this game. Anthony Cirelli is a point 4 of his last 5 games, plus 105. Gage Goncalves has a point in 4 games in a row, plus 165. Brock Besser has a point 3 games in a row, as does Rossi. Besser plus 106, Rossi plus 124. Here in this one, Gage Goncalves has scored in 3 of his last 5 games, plus 432. And Nikita Kucherov, coming off a hat trick in his last game, has had a lot of success against the Canucks. He scored in 6 of his last 7 games against Vancouver. Bear with me for a second. There we go. So a lot of success against the Canucks. Plus 120 to score here. Not a lot of value odds-wise, but it's Kucherov against the worst team in the league. Won't be shocked to see him score here. Assist streaks, Cirelli, 4 of his last 5 games with an assist, plus 200. Brock Besser and Braden Point, both 3 games in a row with assists, plus 224 for Besser, plus 126 for Braden Point here in this game. Let's go to the chat. Tailing Jonathan Davis on the Canucks over 6, minus 120. Yeah, I don't hate it, obviously. Don't hate it at all. Of the 22 games this season with a minus 300 plus favorite, the underdog has scored a goal 18 times, including all 3 that Tampa has been involved in the first period. Right? That's in the first period. Vancouver first period goal, minus 110. 18 times, yeah, in the first period. Great stat. Gensel has tormented the Canucks, scoring 14 goals in 15 games against Vancouver. All right. Yeah, I see that. He's had a lot of success against them. And he scored in 2 of... Oh, no, that's point. Goal-wise, 2 of his last 10 he scored in. So Gensel has not really been consistent goal-wise recently. But I can see why you're taking him. Hey, Terry, off a great day. Love to hear it, Rich. Gensel loves goals in Vancouver, 29 on the season. And he scored in Vancouver last year, 4 shots on goal. There we go. Rich would obviously know. Being a Canucks fan, you would obviously know seeing that. Obviously seeing previous games. Overtime, Terry, overtime. Yeah, should have went with the draw, but went with the over. Get right spot for Vancouver. You mean Tampa Bay? Darren Radish, anytime goal, plus 400. All right. Best of luck. Great odds there. But the other games on the slate segment, other games that I did not break down here on today's slate. Rangers and the Columbus Blue Jackets. The Columbus Blue Jackets, big favorites here in this game. The Rangers have had success. 5-1-1 in the last 7 meetings between the two teams. 3 of the last 5 going over 6.5. Back-to-back games going to overtime. I can't or I will not fade this Columbus Blue Jackets team right now. They look like a team that's likely going to be in the playoffs this year, especially if they can keep up with how they've been playing for a while now. That being said, they're huge favorites here in this one, so I don't really want to back them. Especially with their history against the Rangers, but I do think Columbus gets the job done here. Gabriel Perreault has a point in 4 games, 4 of his last 5, plus 146. Same thing with Adam Fox, 4 of his last 5 games, minus 114 here in this one. And Perreault assist, 4 of his last 5 games, plus 287 here. This one, Winnipeg and Boston. Winnipeg has won 3 of the last 5 games between the two teams. 3 games in a row going over 7.5. So the last 3 games between the Bruins and the Jets have been very high-scoring games. Victor Arvidsson, a point in 4 of his last 5, 7 of his last 10, plus 110. He's got value. Cole Perfetti, points in 4 of his last 5. Also has a lot of success against Boston. Perfetti, points in 5 of his last 6 games against Boston. He's around plus 100 for a point. Great odds there for Cole Perfetti in this one. Pavel Zacha's got a point 3 games in a row, minus 115. And then assist streaks, Victor Arvidsson, 4 of his last 5 games, plus 245 with an assist here in this one. Florida and Edmonton. 8 of the last 9 games between the two teams, including the playoffs, have gone over 6.5. The one game that didn't go over finished with 6 goals. Florida, 4-1 in the last 5 meetings between the two teams, and 6 of the last 8 regular season games have gone over 6.5. The 2 games that didn't go over finished with 6 goals. So very high-scoring games previously between Florida and Edmonton. Of course, Edmonton will still be without Leon Draisaitl, which is obviously a big loss. The Oilers have been an over machine. 2 low-scoring games against St. Louis and Nashville, trying to focus on the defense, but 5-3 win against San Jose in their last game. The Florida Panthers, back-to-back losses on this trip, 6-2 to Seattle, 5-2 to Vancouver. Not great. Not great for the Florida Panthers. You shouldn't be losing to Seattle and Vancouver by 3 goals, 3 or 4 goals. So Edmonton might take care of business here, and they might enjoy taking care of business here against the Florida Panthers, of course, with the previous playoff history. Edmonton did win the first meeting this year 6-3. Would not shock me to see a similar type game here. Looking at point streaks with value, not a whole. Matt Savoy, points in 3 games in a row, plus 100. Points in his only game against the Florida Panthers. And somebody in the chat mentioned earlier that he's now moved to the top line. So yeah, Savoy point, plus 100. There's definitely value there with him. Here. Goal streaks, Sam Bennett and Zach Hyman, both back-to-back games, plus 195 for Bennett, plus 135 for Hyman. And then assist streaks, Bouchard, Ekholm, back-to-back games. Bouchard minus 170, no value there. Ekholm plus 175 with an assist here in this one. And then the final 2 games, Utah and Vegas. Vegas 3-2 in the last 5 meetings. Depending on what the total is it at a 6.5? 1 game under, 3 games finished with 6 goals. So it's a total of 6. So there you go. 1 under, 3 pushes in recent meetings. I could see it finishing with 6. So I could see it being a push here. Point-wise, with value, guys with 3 of 5, 3 of their last 5 games with not a whole lot of consistency. Goal-wise, Eichel, Gunther, both 3 of their last 5 games. Barbashev, Marner assists, 3 of their last 5 games. So not a lot of consistent offense on either side here between Utah and Vegas. And then the final game of the night, Philadelphia and the LA Kings. The Kings 5-1 in the last 6 meetings. And a lot of high-scoring games. So the total's a 6. 5 overs, 2 unders, and 2 pushes in the last 9 games between the two teams. Looking at guys on streaks here. Tippett has scored in 3 of 5 games, plus 275. Panarin assist, which has no value. Not a lot of consistent players here on either side here in this one. But let's go to the chat here. A great spot for Gensel's one. Okay. Yeah, it is. Thank you for all you do, my brother. Thanks, Calvin. I appreciate it. Edmonton over 6.5. Yeah, not a bad look at all. Jackets, Bruins, money line parlay. Rangers are 1-9 in the second half of a back-to-back. I like that. That's how you back 2 big favorites like that. Because I think both those teams win. So 8 of the last 10 Columbus home wins have covered the puck line. All right. Logan Cooley has scored 4 times in the previous meeting versus Vegas and has scored in 4 of the 5 games total he's faced against Vegas. Plus 340. Okay, look at Logan Cooley here in this one. Bouchard assists 9 of the last 10 at home, minus 188, but a good parlay piece. With over 1.5 goals in the third period is minus 109. All right, I like it. Bet MGM paid for the wide goal, but he didn't get one. Withdraw and run. Oh, wow. That's interesting. Maybe because he scored in the shootout, but yeah, that shouldn't count. So they'll probably come back at you, Brandon, unfortunately. And now I've just posted on YouTube for the whole world to see. So yeah, now you're really in trouble. I'm sorry. You're really in trouble now. But that's today's slate. Thank you everyone for watching. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe button on today's show. And check out the show tomorrow. 5 or 6 games. So I'll be back at 12:30 p.m. Eastern normal time to break down tomorrow's slate. Ekholm assist in 7 of 9, plus 165. Yeah, he's been consistent for sure. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks, guys.